Всем привет, с вами Сергей, и мы продолжаем играть в игру престолов. И в предыдущих двух сериях у меня были какие-то проблемы с эхом в игре, то есть все персонажи, когда говорят, возникает небольшое эхо, и мне это не очень нравилось. И сейчас, если сейчас оно будет, то уже проблема не во мне, а в самой игре. Сейчас я попробовал уже в наушниках сидеть. Надеюсь, все со звуком игры будет в этот раз в порядке. Так, открыли сундучок, что здесь? Так, посмотрим. Монетка.
Asher sent me this coin to remember him. What a strange place, Essos. Ethan made this for me.
Так, и законченное письмо. Ну, да. Грустные взгляды у них такие немножко смешные. Но все-таки с мимикой что-то.
Father, much excitement here in King's Landing for the coming wedding. Lady Marjorie has proven to be quite popular throughout the city. I do wish you and Mother could come, although I know it would be impossible under the circumstances. I miss all of you, and I look forward to the day you can.
Да, не успела дописать письмо. Так что здесь есть котелок. Все, да?
Wonders made by man, by Lomas Longstrider. A gift from Roderick. I hope to see them all someday.
Смотрим в окно.
I wonder if it's sunny at Ironrath today.
Ну, в предыдущей части было довольно-таки солнечно. Так, и что тут? Письмо от матери.
It troubles me to even ask this of you, but you must appeal to Lady Marjorie to intervene on our behalf. She is our best hope, and can be a powerful ally, especially now when your family so desperately needs her help.
Кто-то постучал.
One moment.
Oh, sorry, milady. I didn't mean to disturb you. I can come back later if you'd like.
Заходи, чего
No,
уж
it's
тут.
fine. Come in.
Begging your pardon, milady, but you all right? If you don't mind my asking, you seem rather upset.
I'm fine, thank you.
Ну,
Of course,
как всегда отвечать. По-женски.
Please hurry if you can. Lady Marjorie will be here any minute.
Of course, milady. You work for Lady Marjorie? I may be wrong, but it seems like you do.
I'm her handmaiden.
That's what I thought. I've seen you with her before. You seem like good friends. I saw Lady Marjorie just this morning, outside the Royal Steps, talking to Queen Cersei.
Cersei?
They appeared to be having some sort of disagreement. I couldn't hear much, but it was definitely an
Ну,
argument.
о чем ты
Why
мне
are
это
you
расскажешь?
telling me this?
Это все
I heard them
интересно,
arguing
конечно.
about House Forrester and
House Forrester?
I thought you'd like to know. Forgive me if I was mistaken. I hope you're not in any kind of trouble. Most people don't tend to notice a cold one. Not in King's Landing, with so many lords and ladies about. You see and hear all sorts of things when people don't even know you're there. Good night, my lady.
Похоже.
Lady Marjorie, you're early.
I was hoping there would be time for us to talk. Come, there's something we must discuss. From the day you arrived in Highgarden, I've thought of you more as a friend than as my handmaiden. A dear friend, in fact.
Thank you, my lady.
And you know how I feel about what's happened to your family. I feel your pain as if it were my own. What you've suffered is beyond imagining. And your poor family as well.
Не будем сразу в лоб говорить.
Of course, Mira, but you must not despair. We will get through this together. You must understand there are limits to what I can say, especially here in King's Landing, now that I am to be queen. To have a handmaiden from the north, whose family fought for Robb Stark. It raises questions at a time I can least afford. Cersei herself cornered me this morning outside the royal set. She mentioned the northern girl in my service, and she painted you a traitor. She was very pleased with herself.
I'm not
Что еще ответить?
Of course not. It's only an excuse to torment you, and by extension, me. She demands an audience. She wants an apology of some sort, for what I don't know, but she's waiting for us now, and I promised I would bring you to her. I wouldn't ask this of you if it were not important. I cannot afford any conflict with Cersei with the wedding so near.
Давай.
What do I say?
Поприсмыкаемся.
Find a way to appease her. Humor her. Tell her what she wants to hear.
Угу. Сказать ей, что она хочет.
See if the Queen Regent is ready to receive us.
Попробуем.
You'll be fine. I know you will. You may feel one thing, but you must say another.
Попробуем. Редко у меня такое получается.
Good luck.
Попробую.
You can do this.
Идти еще надо. Я так удобно сижу. Так. Людей в зале немного.
Ah, Lady Marjorie. Aren't you looking lovely this evening?
Lord Tyrion. Your Grace? With your permission, allow me to introduce Lady Mira of House Forrester.
Давайте. Поступим, как они хотят.
The girl knows her courtesies. Impressive. You may rise.
House Forrester is a northern house loyal to the king.
Are they?
I beg your pardon, Your Grace.
I wasn't talking to you. I want to hear from the girl. Is your family loyal to the king?
Perhaps you should ask the new Lord Forrester.
He's not here, is he? She is.
Joffrey is the one true king, Your Grace.
And yet, for centuries the Forresters have been loyal bannermen to House Stark. A house of traitors.
They were the wardens of the north. We all served at the pleasure of the king.
Clever girl.
Perhaps too clever for her own good.
The girl did name Joffrey as the one true king.
Is your house willing to swear fealty to your new liege lord, Roose Bolton?
He is the Warden of the North, Your Grace.
He is. And I the Queen Regent and Tyrion the Master of Coin.
The girl has a remarkable talent for answering questions while in fact saying nothing at all.
Так, я честно стараюсь отвечать так, как она хочет.
But now that the war is over, we must look to rebuild and forge new alliances. There are ships and shields to be built, and Joffrey will need a steady supply of ironwood for his armies. I'm told there are others who would happily serve that purpose, but I trust we can rely on House Forrester.
Forster Ironwood does seem rather unique.
Our talent is unrivaled, Your Grace. Forrester Ironwood is highly sought after in the Seven Kingdoms.
So I'm told. It would be a shame to see it fall into the hands of another house. I imagine you'd do almost anything to prevent that from happening, wouldn't you? Ask any Lannister, and they'd do whatever was necessary to save Casterly Rock. It would be unfortunate to see another house lay claim to what's yours.
Yes, Your Grace. I would do anything.
I see.
What would you have the girl do, Cersei? It's not as if she fought beside the Starks, wielding a battle axe for the Northern Army.
It raises an interesting question, I suppose. Can we truly blame those who end up on the wrong side of the war? Our dear Marjorie here was betrothed to Renly Baratheon on the false assumption that he would one day rule the Seven Kingdoms. Can we fault her for her mistake? Should she be held accountable?
I'm sure she regrets it.
Perhaps. Perhaps not.
If there's a point to this, I hope you find it quickly.
Loyalty can be such a hard thing to define. This city alone is filled with all sorts of ambitious opportunists looking to reinvent themselves, pretending to be something they're not. Who knows what lurks within their hearts? You are a girl from the north, here in service to Lady Marjorie. One can only assume her interests are yours. Yet loyalty to a king, that must be absolute, beyond question. And if your loyalties were to become conflicted between your king and the very person whom you serve, what would you do then?
I'm sure she
would... Let the girl answer the question. Go on.
My loyalties would never conflict, Your Grace.
That's a coward's answer. I will not have my time wasted by a northern girl who thinks she can play games. Who do you choose?
The king, of course.
Well said. I was beginning to worry you didn't have your priorities straight.
She is a threat to the crown, isn't she? The most dangerous handmaiden in all of King's Landing.
My sense is this girl will say almost anything to get what she wants. Which is not very encouraging. I'd like a word with you, if I may.
Of course, Your Grace.
Так, что-то я не понял. Насколько все плохо получилось с моими ответами.
I'll walk you out. This may come as a surprise, but I met your father once, at the tourney at Lannisport. Even then he didn't trust Roose Bolton. We only spoke briefly, but your father struck me as an honorable man. You have my condolences for his loss. These would be trying times for your family, even under the best of circumstances.
Thank you, Lord Tyrion. That's very kind of you to say.
That certainly took courage. To so publicly declare your loyalty to Joffrey for all to hear. Poor Lady Marjorie was humiliated, although Cersei seemed quite pleased. It was quite the first impression. I, of course, found it all highly entertaining.
I was trying to appease her.
I think that was clear to everyone. My sister and I have our differences. She takes great pleasure in her little charades. I take mine in thwarting them. We must find our amusements where we can. She threatened to give your ironwood to another house. It is the master of coin who decides such matters. The crown needs boats. Boats need wood, and I speak for the crown in this regard.
Прямой спрос.
You can help my family.
I suppose the crown could be persuaded to secure ironwood from House Forrester. Lady Marjorie might not look favorably on such an alliance, and it would infuriate Cersei. Although what would be amusing for me might prove rather dangerous for you and your house. Are you willing to risk that? It may be far too dangerous.
It's a risk I'm willing to take, Lord Tyrion. Please.
You are a brave girl, aren't you? I'll consider it. Now, if you'll excuse me, I promise Sansa I will join her for dinner tonight. 3 beautiful bottles of Dornish wine await my arrival. The mere thought of them makes me thirsty already.
I hope we meet again.
Nothing would make Cersei happier. Until then, be careful. This is not the North. King's Landing can be a nest of vipers to the uninitiated.
Да знаю.
Mira, I was worried. How was it? Cersei has a way of looking at you as though you're nothing.
Скажем, что хорошо.
Really? That's a relief. Cersei is known for being rather difficult. Lady Marjorie has spent the entire day working on seating arrangements for the wedding. Of course, you and I are seated way at the back, here with the 4th cousins and the 9th-born sons. Sir Jaime, I wouldn't mind tarnishing that white cloak of his. Sarah, what? It's true. And Oberyn Martell, the Red Viper. I'm told he has a paramour.
He is quite handsome.
And quite passionate, from what I've heard. Perhaps Lady Marjorie can make the right introductions. Who knows? We might meet our future husbands. Although, marrying a king, I can only imagine what that would be like. Would you marry Joffrey if it meant you'd become queen? He does have a certain look about him, and he's always treated Lady Marjorie well.
I'd marry anyone if it helped my family.
Right.
Так вот он скажем.
Well, I would marry him. Imagine the power you would have as Queen of the 7 Kingdoms. I might even allow you to be my handmaiden. Let's see, who else should we marry off? Brienne of Tarth and Tyrion Lannister. What a perfect match!
Кто читал или смотрел фильм, тот поймет.
What are you doing? Well,
I'm sorry, my lady.
as am I. We shouldn't have been messing about.
This is not a game. It's a battle plan. Allies and enemies can be made with every move. Yet they say it is men who are powerful. The Queen was pleased by your display, Mira. I'm just glad it's over. King's Landing can be exhausting sometimes. There's always someone to please or some perceived slight to smooth over. I fear it will only get worse when I am queen.
Once they know your true heart, the lords and ladies will have no choice but to love you.
Do you agree?
Да, только не успел прочитать.
It doesn't matter what you feel. It only matters what you say.
You learn very quickly. Your words to Cersei were brave, but I know you must fear what the Boltons might do to your family. I do appreciate your willingness to appease her, as difficult as it may have been.
Thank you, my lady. There's been something on my mind. Something important.
Давайте попросим.
I did have a favor to ask of you in return.
Whatever you wish to say, you can say it in front of Sarah. There are no secrets between us.
It's about my family.
I trust her.
Ну, пускай останется, хоть это и очень опасно.
Go on. Ask.
Forgive me, my lady. I wouldn't otherwise ask this of you, but my mother insisted. It's about my family.
Ramsay Snow. What would you have me do?
My mother fears our family will suffer if Ramsay is left to do as he likes. She thought, if a raven could be sent to the Boltons to let them know House Forrester has the protection of the crown. I know it's a lot to ask of you, and I wouldn't otherwise, but she insisted.
That is no small request, especially now.
I know, my lady, and I wouldn't ask this of you otherwise, but my mother has left me no choice. She insisted.
Все на мамку сбросила. Точнее, я так тупанул.
Well, your family fought for the Starks, and now you would have me ask him to intervene. Is the situation that dire?
You can't, my lady. King Joffrey won't like it. Just think how he turned on Lady Sansa. I will forever be in your debt. My family will forever be in your debt.
I don't know, Mira. If Cersei were to find out...
Don't let the Queen bully you. You have power over him, Lady Marjorie, as no one else does. Not even his mother. Ramsay Snow will arrive at Ironrath within the week. I would never ask this of you if it weren't so urgent.
Игра даже задумалась.
Very well. I'll make your request, but I cannot promise anything.
Thank you, my lady. I will send a raven to my family at once.
Вот так вот напрямую прям. Может, что из этого и выгорит. Конь от нас сбежал. Отлично.
Seven elves.
Let's play a little game, shall we? Did you know my ancestors wore the skins of their enemies as a coat? Not my best work, unfortunately. I suppose I have fallen out of practice. But he didn't make it easy, what with all that bloody noise.
Like a drowning cat. I thought he'd never stop.
As my father likes to say, a naked man holds few secrets, but the flayed man holds none.
Pity he didn't know your father was the Warden of the North.
He does now. How much further is it to these forest dens?
A day, my lord. 2 at most.
What was that?
My lord?
Shh. Listen. There. Hear that? I know I heard something. Never mind. We've wasted enough time already.
Повезло. Хотя бежать у них здесь кони бессмысленно. Догнали бы. Надо ли тебе на это смотреть? Знамя Болтонов, ободранный человек. Кожу сняли. Бывает. Так, а на этом мы, пожалуй, эту серию и закончим. Да, здесь так можно поставить на паузу. Всем спасибо за внимание, оставляйте комментарии. Надеюсь, в этой серии эха не было. Всем пока!